toxic spirituality that I'm just no longer subscribing to. Spirituality will tell you that you are the creator of your life. And while there is so much truth in that, it really is important to understand that your subconscious beliefs get programmed into your systems, into your nervous system, by the time you're age 7. So if you grew up with a toxic family, emotionally neglectful, absent, or abusive caregivers, if society has labeled your body type, your race, your ethnicity, your gender as bad, all of those programs get downloaded into your subconscious beliefs, and you then internalize, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy of X, Y, and Z. You didn't create that dynamic in your family. You didn't create a neglectful mom or an abusive dad or a religious system that lied to you or a government system that's programmed you to believe that you're not good enough. You did not create that. As you age, it's your responsibility to heal those beliefs. But when you're a child, you don't know any different. You're looking at your parents and your religion and your government systems, and you're told to obey authority and that this is what love is. But love is kind and compassionate and loving. It's not screaming and yelling, and it's not the silent treatment, and it's not being made to feel like you're just inherently bad. Jesus didn't die for our sins. He died because of sin. He died because the political systems did not want him to continue to spread the word and awaken people. He didn't die because you were born a dirty sinner. He died because of the greed and the control and the power that certain people want to have over the masses, keeping people stuck in these limiting beliefs that they're not inherently good, that they're not lovable, that they're not worthy of their desires, and trusting their intuition. All of that was systematic. So as an adult, it is our responsibility to rewire our brains so we do become the creator of our life. But it's important not to take all of the responsibility of the programming that you have inherently downloaded. So I struggle with a lot of the spiritual messaging that's like, oh, stop being the victim, blah, 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 blah. No, if you were a victim of abuse, you were a victim of abuse. No amount of spirituality is going to change that. But you no longer have to stay in that victim mentality. You can rewire your brain and say, you know what, that was a training ground for me. So I could learn how to rewire my brain. I could help other people rewire their brains. And I could really step out of that belief system that was programmed into me by people who did not genuinely love or care for themselves, people who did not understand or respect the divine in each of us. Nobody is more divine than a child. So when you're abusing children, and whether it's subconscious or not, it is our job as adults to show love and kindness and compassion to other people, but most importantly to children. So I want you to break up with that belief that everything good or bad in your life is your responsibility, because it's not. What is your responsibility as an adult is the beliefs that you have about yourself, how you treat other people, and the programming that you're willing to continue to recycle. Are you going to continue to recycle the story that Jesus died because we're all dirty, dirty sinners? Or are you going to say, no, Jesus died because of sin, because we all are divine creatures, and he was showing us what happens when you break away from that? And I think collectively, if enough of us say enough is enough, that system will have to rewire itself. It's no longer going to feed off of our energy. You can be the creator of your life now as an adult. You can rewire those subconscious beliefs. You can stop accepting behavior and mistreatment from the world, from relationships, from family. You can walk away, and that doesn't make you evil or bad. It makes you honest, and it makes you true to your divine nature. God never wanted you to stay in an abusive family just because they're your mom, dad, sister, brother, cousin. He never wanted that. He wanted you to see the dysfunction and call it out. And some of us were placed in families. Hello, Pluto and Scorpio generation. This is you for sure. You were placed in your family systems to say, this is not the way. This is not the way that we should be treating other people. This is not the way that we should be honoring ourselves. What can we do differently? What can we change? And you can force people to awaken to their own nature, but most of the time that's not going to work. The only thing that you can truly do is lead by example and learn how to love yourself despite everything that you've been through, and learn how to share that wisdom with others. And most importantly, raise your children differently. Raise your children to love themselves and believe in themselves and honor who they are as divine, unique creatures. We're all beautiful people. It's time for us to truly honor that and believe that, and stop accepting these narratives that we're not lovable and good enough, and that everything in our life is our responsibility. How other people treat us is not our responsibility. As adults, what we accept is our responsibility. So when you're hearing that you're the creator of your life, I want you to think of it with that nuance is, yes, as an adult, your subconscious beliefs are your responsibility. As a child, they were your caregivers. And some of us were truly failed by our caregivers, by our school systems, by our religious systems, by our government, by the TV news that is profiling certain genders or certain races, and just really pushing this narrative that certain groups are bad and evil. That's just not true. Do evil people exist? Absolutely, they do. And that was a hard thing for me to come to terms with, but evil people do exist, and some people will never change. Some people won't ever accept the harm and the responsibility that they have done to others. But it is not your job to accept that responsibility. It's your job to say, yes, I was mistreated. Yes, I was abused. Yes, I've gone through hell and back, but I'm not going to let that narrate my story anymore. I am going to rewire my subconscious, rewire my belief system about myself, and set up boundaries for how I want to be treated and how I'm going to treat others. That is your responsibility. So that is just one level of toxic spirituality I'm just not going to buy into anymore. While I can be the creator of my life now, and I can rewire my nervous system now, as a child, I was not a creator of that reality. My caregivers were. They are responsible for the treatment, the abuse, the toxicity in that household. It was never about the kids. So if you have struggled with that yourself, reach out. Happy to chat with you.